S1. Left C1.
Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to take the left scanner eye and put it over the left C1 TP. Try to get the hair out of the way here. When we hold it there, we're going to wait to hear that beep and for the light to turn green.
Right.
Then we're going to click the trigger. The trigger's right here on the handle. Now, on the right side, we're going to do the same thing, except now we're using the right scanner eye over that right C1 TP. We're waiting to hear that beep. Then we're going to click it. Okay, great. So to find that C1 area, that's called the mastoid fossa, you can feel that mastoid and come right below it, to right below that bone. You don't want to feel for it right before the test because you'll change the temperature, but you can practice that before you actually do this on a patient. Okay, thank you very much, Devin. Once you perform the scan, you're going to hit OK to save it. And then you're going to go over to exit, this exit button right here, and you're going to press exit, which will take you to the graphs. Once you get these graphs up, these are the graphs of the test you just performed. What I want you to do is to grab an old thermal scan on this patient. The way we're going to do that is go to the third icon from the left, which is this yellow folder. It looks like an open yellow folder, like as if you're opening that file. You're going to click on it, and you're going to see the top one is going to say rolling thermal. You don't want to pick that one because that's the scan we have right here. You want to go to a previous one, let's say this one right here. In real life, you'll know which date you want to pick, but we'll pick this one right here. And this will be the previous scan, and this is the scan we just performed. At this point, I'll ask you some questions on interpretation. To interpret, I'm going to open up this scan because it's a little more colorful. You've got to know what all the different colors mean. White means that you've got a temperature asymmetry that's within normal limits. Green means you've got a mild temperature asymmetry. Blue means you have a moderate temperature asymmetry, and red or black means that you have a severe temperature asymmetry. The numbers on the side are the temperatures in Fahrenheit between the left and the right sides of the paraspinal areas that you're testing. So for example, here at C1, I have a big red bar on the right that tells me I have a severe temperature asymmetry at C1. This side of the bar is the side of greater temperature, so I have much greater temperature on the right than the left. And it says 3.4 degrees Fahrenheit, so that would be the difference. Right here at C4, there is no bar, and it says 0.0, so that tells me there is no asymmetry at all. Both sides are exactly the same. This is our bar graph, one we just went over. Over here is our line graph. If you look at the line graph, it's the same information, but just in a line graph form. But you notice that this line is partly red and partly blue. What I want you to understand about that is wherever on the patient's back it's warmer on the left, the line turns red. And when the patient's back becomes warmer on the right, the line turns blue. They don't give you individual segments here. They just have the ones where we click, the S1, L1, T1, C2, and then they have a little dot for C1. The last thing I want you to be able to do is create a comparison graph. The way we do that is we left click on the graph itself, not the blue bar, but on the graph itself, drag the cursor down, and release it on the other graph. We'll open that up, and it tells you that this is your rolling thermal scan comparison graph. And if you can see here, you've got a red line and a blue line. It's kind of hard to tell because they're so close, they look so similar to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to increase it so you can see it a little bit better. So we've got one whole red line and we've got one whole blue line. The key is at the top, which tells you which one was the first scan and which one is the most current scan that you did. So you'll see the date and you'll see the time, which will allow you to tell if you've got, let's say for example this one, the blue one is the later date and time, so we know that the blue scan is the one we just performed and the red one is the one we did previously. So you can compare the patient's results before to after. If you wanted to put a third scan in here, you could, and then that one would be green. That's it.
All right.